Hello, I'm Christy and welcome. I've made a couple of videos now, I think a couple, at least one, where I talk about how I am starting a new adventure. Yes, there's only been one, it was the last one, where I talk about how I have a new job and I'm going to be moving 700 miles from here, Cincinnati, Ohio, where I've been for the last 3.5 years. And before that I lived in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma and Kansas are places that I have lived my entire life. And I'm not going back there, but I am starting a new adventure in another new place. And I really wish I had been doing YouTube when I moved to Cincinnati. I think that would have been really interesting to document it that way. But today, before I start my moving journey, I want to talk about what I've learned here. The number one thing that I have learned, well, this isn't in any particular order, by the way. I just have a list of things here and I'm going to go down the list. The number one thing I've learned in the last 3.5 years is that I am capable of doing new things. And I knew that before, but I've really found I've stretched myself even more. I wasn't sure if there was more that I was willing to do, and there is. I have learned and am still learning about doing YouTube videos. I have learned a lot in my job that I didn't know before, which was probably part of the reason I wasn't ready really to come here and do the job I was originally hired to do, because there had still been a lot of things I hadn't done before. And so that was a very hard and very harsh realization that I had 3 years ago. But it's, you know, you live, you learn, right? So that brings me to another point on my list. I'm going to skip down. I can recover in the place where I was hurt. I don't think I've really done that before. I think that if I've been hurt somewhere, you know, I didn't stay there much longer, and if I did, I didn't really recover because I didn't know how. And I've learned that actually maybe I hadn't ever recovered from some of those things, and so I've been working through not just the things I've been through here as far as my career, that, you know, they were some pretty significant wounds, even though it, you know, it's just work. But sorry, that's my washer. I had to clean clothes, I had to film, so here we are. But this time I have been working on recovering from all the hurts. I've dug deep. I've been working on healing from not just recent stuff, but way past stuff. And I feel so much lighter right now, and I have to admit that I am, you know, life being what it is, I know that other things are going to happen in the future that will hurt and be difficult. But I can go, and that does kind of scare me a little bit because I don't want to go through any more. But that's just not how things are. And so to go into it realizing that things are going to happen and I'm going to have to recover from those things as well. I feel now like I can take it on in a more healthy way, which brings me to my next point. I can improve. Yeah. I am not just like this, okay? For years, I had anxiety, didn't realize it, and things would really get to me. Now that I've been taking anxiety medicine and I know that I can reach out to a counselor, or, I know of ways to, work on healing myself and how to, get through the things that I'm not, I can improve. I can improve my behavior with other people. Just because something's happening to me doesn't mean that, I have to treat other people any differently. And, it wasn't like a conscious thing. It was just happening. And now that I am aware and, I'm trying to learn how to manage that kind of stuff in a more healthy way. I feel like, let's put it this way. When I first got here, and really before I got here, people didn't always respond to me in the way that I thought they should. I just kind of thought they were overreacting or too sensitive or something, because I wasn't doing anything wrong, right? And now I see that, my anxiety, my negative attitude, my displeasure with how things were going in my life was seeping through, and people were responding to that. And I wasn't consciously doing anything. In my mind still, I'm not doing anything different than I was before, but my demeanor, my aura, whatever you want to call it, must be different because people respond to me better now. My exchanges with people are mostly positive. They're not like they were before, mostly negative, which was something that I wasn't used to, and I thought it was everybody else, not me. The next thing I learned is that I can start new habits. I can begin again. I can start new habits. I had all but given up on the idea of ever losing weight again in my life. I'm 49 years old, and when I got into my 40s, I was just like, whatever. I think that I did a low carb or no carb diet a few years ago in my very early 40s. I can't remember exactly. And that worked. I lost like 20 pounds or something. But, one day I wanted bread again, and, gained it all back and then some. And so I kind of just let it go. But I want to be healthier. I want to be able to do a lot of things still when I'm older, like 20 years older than now, 30 years older. I still want to be able to do things, and, not have to take a whole bunch of medicine, or, have a a whole lot wrong with me. So I've been working on that. So far, I've lost 18 pounds over the summer, and I plan to keep going. Which brings me to another point on my list. I can keep going. I've learned that I can keep going, that I can not give up. You don't know. I mean, as far as getting another job, I have applied to I don't know how many different places, both with the company I'm currently with and as well as other companies over the last 4 years. And so also I've learned through doing YouTube videos, different ways, doing really bad videos, learning what I like to do and what I don't like to do. I'm trying to figure it out still. But I do enjoy it, and that's why I keep doing it. And I don't want to give up on it. It's only been 2 years. I've learned that I can wait for the right time. I can have patience. I can appreciate what I have while I'm waiting for something else that I think I'd rather have. Or, you know, when things are not, you know, exactly what I'd like, I can enjoy what I do have that I like. I can have appreciation, for example, for the fact that I do have a job. I can appreciate the people I work with. You know, I can appreciate the things I do like, the life that I have, the family that I have. Appreciation, I learned that's a big thing I learned here, was how to have appreciation when, you know, you're hurting. And with that, I learned that I could be peaceful. I can remain peaceful and in spite of everything. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how, you know, I'm not just this way. I can improve. And the last thing that I'm going to say that I learned from my time here in Cincinnati is that there is life after burnout. Because I do believe that that was one of the big things that one of the reasons I started looking 4 years ago. It was burnout, and I didn't recognize it for what it was. And I came here to something that was going to be even tougher and busier and crazier, and I didn't have the bandwidth. And after 3 years of having a job that's a little bit calmer, because I did step down, and since stepping down, it was really a good thing. It more fit what I needed during this time, and I don't feel burnt out anymore. I feel pretty good and ready to take on something new. And so there is life after burnout. There is life after hurt and disappointment and a long stretch of things not changing when I wanted them to change. And lastly, I just want to say, you know, I named my channel Positive X-Ploration because even though I hadn't quite learned all these points yet when I started my channel 2 years ago, I knew that I was on a journey that I was exploring new things for myself, you know, by starting a channel, for example. And there was a lot to learn and a lot of new things to explore. And a lot of things to find out about myself. And that's what's happened. And it is a positive thing. It's taking something hard that you've been through. And if you live life, you're gonna have hard things happen. You know, just being positive is not really the thing that changes things. It's your willingness to keep going, to try new paths, to explore. My washer's on spin cycle. Positive exploration is, for me, is about the journey and going through the things and coming out the other side of it. That's what's positive about it. It's a positive exploration. Thank you for watching. I said this in the last video, but I'm pretty sure that this time the next video will be me going on my apartment search. Thank you for watching.